Welcome to rounds 9 and 10 of the 2016 Audi R8 LMS Cup from here at the Penbay International Circuit in southern Taiwan. The championship hands in the balance with reigning champion Alex Young currently at the top of the standings, but closely pursued by several drivers, both rookies and veterans. Coming up in the program, we'll hear from 2012 champion Marchy Lee, who's right back in the title hunt again this season. We'll talk to the Absolute Racing team, one of the biggest service teams in Asian motorsport. Plus, we'll see what happened when Taiwan racing star Jeffrey Lee took one of the Cup's young drivers on an alternative tour of Taiwan. And of course, we'll have full highlights of both races here. But first, let's take another look at what happened out there last time.
The most explosive battles of the season unfolded in Korea during rounds 7 and 8 of the 2016 Audi R8 LMS Cup. Round 7 saw a race-long scrap between reigning champion Alex Young and Alessio Picariello, whose pole position in qualifying had seen him creep into a 1-point lead at the top of the standings. Picariello started strongly but was carrying an extra 35 kgs after finishing second in the previous race, and Young was pushing hard with Marchy Lee nicely poised in third. On lap 11, the tussle erupted with repeated contact between the top two, which eventually forced both into a dramatic retirement. Marchy Lee took full advantage to record his first race win of the season ahead of Rahul Fry and local Korean hero KOU, with Picariello drawing a 10-place grid penalty for the race's major incident.
Frustrated, but I'm still motivated. I'm still on top of the championship. I need to fight hard.
With pole sitter Lee carrying 50 kilograms of race success ballast in round 8, Young was able to storm past him on turn 1, delivering a dominant victory ahead of Martin Rump, with Lee completing the podium. Meanwhile, Picariello finished in a respectable 4th place after starting down in 13th, cutting through the field in an action-packed race. Crucially, only 26 points now separate the top 5 as the Cup heads to Taiwan. Young leads with 120 points, but will be carrying an extra 50 kilos in the first race, which could help his rivals. Lee and Picariello come next with 109 and 108 points respectively, while Rump is 4th on 95, just 1 point ahead of Rahul Fry. With 5 different winners in 8 races this season, it's anyone's guess who will come out on top in Taiwan. Since winning the title in the Cup's debut season 5 years ago, Hong Kong's Marchy Lee hasn't quite reached the same heights again, but he's remained a Cup regular while also competing for Audi in GT Asia, among other series. Off the track, he's now also a co-owner for Phoenix Racing Asia, but as a driver, he's back to his best form. We caught up with Marchy in his quest for a second championship.
2012, I still a very angry head. Very easy to get angry because of my temper, control my result. In the car, I work very hard. In the normal life, it's a bit, I will say, laid back, not lazy. And I'm not like the kind of driver that really get nervous and negative. I always keep very positive for myself. You become a team owner that you feel have more responsible to win for your team. So this is also a very good motivation. And Alex always, is kind of like a target.
We've always raced hard against each other, and we have had coming togethers. But if it's my fault, I'm always the first person to go up to him and apologize. If it's his fault, likewise. So there's honesty in our racing, and I think that's because we've known each other for so long, and we've been racing for quite a while now.
If I win this year's championship, it will be a good one. But I don't want to push too much pressure to myself to minimize my expectation on the weekend. I'm focusing on the race weekend, and if the race weekend come together, you will win the championship.
Rounds 9 and 10 of the 2016 Audi R8 LMS Cup are in Taiwan, Penbay International Circuit. It's worth noting there was a typhoon here just a few weeks ago, which caused significant damage to the venue, but the team at Penbay have done a great job getting the circuit ready for this event. Very short circuit, the shortest of the Cup this year, 3.5 kilometres, 15 turns. You can see a very short straight, tight left-hander for turn 1 and into 2 and 3. Passing moves likely at turn 5, then it gets very, very tight. Not a lot of overtaking opportunities here. 12, 13, 14, 15 under that iconic seaplane structure, into the final turn and across the line. Very busy lap for the drivers. Super pole taken by Alex Jung, the reigning champion. Rahel Fry alongside. Then it's Martin Rump and Alessio Picariello. Frankie Cheng had a win here last year alongside Jan Kischel. And it's Marchy Lee and Aditya Patel. And Jeffrey Lee, the AM Cup man who's on top of the point standings, he is in position number 9. And we go through to Rick Yoon, Johnson Huang and Vincent Florendo will round out this grid ahead of round 9. Rolling start. You see that as Martin Rump jumps to the inside of the pack. Alongside Frankie Cheng, a little bit of contact as they dip into turn 1. But Rahel Frey's taken the lead away from the outside of the pole sitter. That is the number 1 car, carrying 50 kilos by virtue of his victory last time out in South Korea. She has taken the lead from Alex Jung, and that's Alessio Picariello into position number 3. Now let's go on board with Marchy Lee, very busy off the start, 3 wide. You can see how close it got there with Martin Rump as they turn into turn 1. Very, very close. Looks like there'll be a little bit of contact there with his teammate Jan Kischel as they turn into turn 2. That's not ideal, but they've got through relatively cleanly. Oh, now it's Picariello up the inside and contact, just a little bit of contact there with Alex Jung. That's not what they need to do. This is shades of South Korea. Now let's go on board with the young Belgian. He goes up the inside, pulls out the slipstream, just managed to make a little bit of contact, no real damage there, and carries on. Now it's Martin Rump all over the number 1 Tita Racing car, and a little bit more contact, but he's overshot the mark. That's allowed Alex Jung to take the position back. He's going to have to do it all over again in that champion Audi, as now Frankie Cheng and Jan Kischel close up behind. Now this is on board with Martin Rump. You can see how close he was. Looked like he was going to stick to the position and dives up the inside at the last minute. As we say, very little overtaking opportunity, but down at turn 5 is where it's going to happen. But that's contact has put the guard and a bit of carbon fibre from the rear aero onto that left rear tyre. He's going to have to be very careful, Alex Jung, that doesn't create a bigger problem. As now Martin Rump looks for an outside run, and he's got into the grass and a little bit more contact. This is not going well for the number 1 Tita Racing car, the reigning champion, the points leader coming in. He's under maximum attack from some of these young drivers. You see just how close they got on board. A replay with Martin Rump, just that little slightest touch and kiss to the right rear of the number 1 car, and that's enough to create more dramas now for Alex Jung. Well, that looks good. That's carbon fibre's come off. That might alleviate the pressure on the wheel, but now he's got to worry about the number 18 car going up the inside. So Martin Rump takes that position away. Now it is a bit of a loggerheads as drivers back up behind the number 1 car. That's going to allow the drivers further back to close up, because the pace of the Alex Jung car is about 2 seconds a lap off the pace. That's Frankie Cheng in the FAW VW car. The number 99 is just spun coming out of 13. Not a lucky number for the Chinese driver, but he's gathered it back up again. He's lost position to Marchy Lee, and he will get back into this fight. Now Jan Kischel looking for any way he can to get past the number 1 car of Alex Jung, and he's getting a real masterclass in how to drive defensively and how to drive a very, very wide Audi R8 LMS GT3. He's getting it all now from the Malaysian driver. He's not a 20-time winner in this championship for nothing, and certainly there'll be a lot of knowledge gained from Jan Kischel. There's Jeffrey Lee. He's leading comfortably the AM Cup points. Could take the championship away if he can hang on to that position at the end of the race. Rahel Fry now, she is comfortably leading and extending that lead. This is a real masterclass performance from the Swiss driver. She is just getting further and further ahead of Alessio Picariello as we get towards checkered flag time. And there it is, victory number 2 for the Swiss driver. Alessio Picariello will come across the line in 2nd position, and 3rd place to Martin Rump.
I knew that the start is going to be a key factor. And the car felt really good from the outlap already, so I could really push from the beginning. And I made it at the start, and afterwards it was quite a lonely race, but at least I got the freshest air in the front, so I was pretty happy about that.
I had a good first lap, but then that was it. I was struggling so much with the car, I felt it directly, so I knew I had to make a gap while the tires were still okay. Because I knew at the end I would be really struggling, and that was the case.
The pace was quite good in the car, absolutely felt amazing, so the team did a really good job setting it up. I think we could have done the fastest lap of the race if it wasn't that I had to fight with Alex.
Here we have the results officially of round 9 of the championship. Rahel Fry takes victory number 2 for the season from teammate Alessio Picariello. Then it's Martin Rump and Alex Jung, Jan Kishel, Marchy Lee, Aditya Patel and KOU round out the 8. And it's Frankie Cheng, Jeffrey Lee takes the victory from Rick Yoon, Johnson Huang and Vincent Florendo. So in his home race in Taiwan, Jeffrey Lee wins his 6th race of the year, giving him an insurmountable lead in the AM Cup Championship with 3 races to spare. Congratulations, Jeffrey. Great job.
Morning person.
If you ask me a bit longer before, a night person, but now it's morning person.
Tend to be a night owl.
I just wake up at the right time, like 7 or 8 o'clock.
I like to get up, do proper work, and then either have a rest in the afternoon.
Definitely night out.
I'm a morning person, dead set. My wife will tell you, when I put the kids to bed, it's because I want to go to bed too.
I was team manager for a couple of teams in formula development. Then I met Fabien, who was also team manager for another team.
My dad had a factory in France building race cars, sold some race cars in China to make the first single-seater series in China.
And we kind of became friends and said, okay, we could do things a little bit different because we think alike and the potential is there. And in 2010 we finally made the step to found Absolute Racing. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to see where the most cars are sold, and that racing is a quite important thing for car culture. And so for us was clear we have to stay in Asia because we both done European racing, and the natural choice was to do a cup, to do it with Audi ourselves to establish a sort of standard.
The first year was really a stretch because we had a few months to prepare everything.
In 2010 we got the first Audi, so with which we won the ILMC race in Zhuhai, the 6-hour race. Straight away out of the box we finished second in Macau with Marchy. And in 2011 we did also again ILMC, again won it. We won Macau with Motara after. And the idea was to grow something for Audi in the region.
It's like a family, and this is also one of the strong points of the team, is to make the driver feel part of the team and feel part of the family. So we spend a lot of time with them. Spend maybe probably more time than with your own family.
Everybody of the team fits well together. If they like to, they can compete with any other teams around the world. In the end, they just want to be successful.
It's very important to have a very good relationship, to have a very strong relationship, and this always helps with the result.
I'm just really happy to work with them. I think it's the best thing that could have happened to me until now.
Now let's introduce you to one of the most famous tourist attractions in Taiwan. And who better to do that than local star Jeffrey Lee? He took Martin Rump along for the ride.
My name is Jeffrey Lee. Now we are in Kaohsiung, we are in a very famous night market. We're going to have some fun and we're going to have some nice food here. Hey, ni hao, Martin. Ni hao, Jeffrey. We'll show you a very local drink, like a milk tea.
Okay, so make me faster also.
Yeah, it can make you sick and faster.
The bubbles come through. If this will make me quicker on the track, this will make me definitely slower. You know, the weight penalty doesn't taste that bad actually.
Really?
I got it.
This is your for one person.
It's huge. Where do I start? Thanks for showing me around. Thanks for showing me the food. Okay, man. Good luck.
Round 10 of the Audi R8 LMS Cup, and Rahel Fry won round 9 just earlier, but she set the fastest lap time, so has pole for race 2. Alessio Piccarello alongside, then it's Martin Rump, Alex Jung, Frankie Cheng, Jan Kischel, Aditya Patel and Marchy Lee. And KOU, Jeffrey Lee, who won the AM Cup Championship, ahead of Rick Yoon, Johnson Huang and Vincent Florendo will round out the grid for this second 17-lap race. Standing start this time. Lights about to go out and we're away. It's going to be a drag race between the Absolute Racing teammates. Rahel Fry and Alessio Piccarello, who's on rider screen. The young Belgian driver dives up the inside and he takes the position away. He has the lead. Martin Rump too goes around the outside of Alex Jung to take away position 3. A little bit of contact there. Wide too for Jan Kischel. Frankie Cheng's into 5th. Jan Kischel's out in the grass, almost rubs the concrete. So it's Piccarello, it is Rahel Fry, then it is Martin Rump, Alex Jung, Frankie Cheng, and a great battle between Aditya Patel and Marchy Lee. See the drag race off the line in the replay from Rahel Fry. You can see her young teammate has more power off the line, takes the position away on the turn into turn 1. 50 kilos of extra success ballast for the Swiss driver. That may have just slowed her down temporarily. You can see on board now with Alex Jung in 3rd position. He's holding 3rd into turn 1. And then bang, straight through from Martin Rump to take position 3 away, and a little bit of contact there. Gee, this is very much shades of the opening race, but the roles were reversed. It was contact between Rump behind onto the tail of Alex Jung. So I wonder what bearing this will have this time round. Very tight to overtake here at Penbay International Circuit. Run down to turn 5. Now here it is with Rahel Fry. She's under fire on this opening lap from Martin Rump. She'll be keen to hold that position and maintain that advantage she has. Pressure now. Long-time rival Frankie Cheng, very, very close, giving themselves racing room, but it looks like he's struggling again for this second race is Alex Jung. Did a masterful job despite being a couple of seconds a lap off the pace. Now that's drama from Martin Rump. A tyre's let go. This is absolute drama for the KCMG driver, 2-time winner this year, and he's off the circuit. Can he get the car back to pit lane? We're riding on board, 220 kilometres now. Might have just grabbed 5th gear and the tyre's gone. The right rear's gone and he's onto the grass. A little bit of damage to the underside of the car and all of that, I'm sure. And he won't be continuing much further unless he can get back to pit lane. Well, he's back into pit lane, but the team's not moving very quickly as Alessio Piccarello hasn't had a win this year, has been at the top of the championship stages on a number of occasions, and he'll be looking to try and top out his race here at Penbay with victory if he can. It's 5 cars battling over position number 3 in this race now that Martin Rump's gone, and still Alex Jung holds them at bay. You're not going to go around the outside of Marchy Lee there. Jan Kischel, a little bit of contact on the exit. Kischel's come across and now Marchy's gone back. Gee, this is going to carry on. A young driver and one of the old stages. It's carried on even further down to turn 6, and they're both off the circuit. They don't need to be doing this. Kischel manages to rejoin just ahead of Jeffrey Lee, the man who took the AM Cup victory. The crowd watches on. This has been another fantastic race, but that's game over for Marchy Lee, who came into this second in championship points. Jeffrey Lee, the number 7 Audi Taiwan J-Fly racing car from Absolute Racing, is the 2016 Audi R8 LMS Cup AM Cup champion, and justifiably so. Very instrumental in the Cup being here at Taiwan, as now Aditya Patel gets a couple of wheels out onto the grass in pursuit of Alex Jung and Frankie Cheng. This is for position number 3. Local driver Johnson Huang and Vincent Florendo are battling hard here for a podium finish in the AM Cup as we head towards the closing laps. But up front, it's all Alessio Piccarello. Rahel Fry's closed in on his tail, but it's going to be the young Belgian to take his first win of the year, and with it, the championship points lead heading into the final race of the season at Shanghai in just 3 weeks' time.
I didn't expect to win this weekend, and I won, so life is crazy, but really happy we did a big change on the setup. We took a big risk, and at the end it paid off.
Even with the 50 kilo, the car didn't feel too bad. It was still able to push, but somehow I messed up the start. I lost my position there, and afterwards it's just so hard to catch up again. Overall I'm really happy to get 1 and 2 position. They are really, really good for the championship. So I think I'm back in the game again. That's the most important for me.
Big disaster actually. From race 1, the car felt good at the first 3 laps. But then when Martin overtook me, he hit my rear left tyre, and it sent out the alignment, and the car was undrivable after that. So not much time to turn around the car. So we put the car on the flat patch and we turned it around and made it all straight. But when I went out, okay, now the left and right is equal, but the car was still undrivable. So something else is broken on the car that we haven't found. It just wasn't enough time to find it. So, you know, lost a lot of points today, but never mind, we're still in the championship fight.
And yes, the two-time champion is still in the points race, finishes third, but it's Alessio Piccarello takes the points lead and victory for the MGT team by absolute from Rahel Fry, Alex Young third, Frankie Cheng, Aditya Patel, KOU, Jeffrey Lee and Jan Kischel. And it's Rick Yoon, Vincent Florendo, Johnson Huang, and unfortunately for Marchy Lee and Martin Rump, that is the end for them this round. Great result for Jeffrey Lee. And the championship point standings, Alessio Piccarello leads 3 points now heading into the final 2 races of the year from Alex Young, and it's Rahel Fry and Marchy Lee a little bit further back. Am Cup classification, no question here, 2016 champion Jeffrey Lee. And in the Masters Cups classification, it is Australian Daniel Bilski from Kevin Chen and Rick Yoon.
3 drivers neck and neck heading to the season finale in Shanghai for what promises to be an amazing finish. We'll see you all there in a few weeks' time. Goodbye from Taiwan.